Welcome back. On today's Do Now, I was asking you to identify two reasons why America got involved in the Vietnam War. Yesterday, we read about several different ideas. Um, we talked about how America was going to try and stop the spread of communism. We didn't want to see a small country, even like something small like South Vietnam, become communist. So, America was trying to prevent the spread of communism, right? Enforce that containment policy, but also stop the domino theory. So it wasn't just about Vietnam, but it was about Vietnam's neighbors as well. We talked about how the U.S., you know, they were doing well in the Cold War, but it definitely didn't feel like America was decisively winning. There's this feeling that America needed to do something big to stand up against communism. At this point in the 60s, the U.S. was losing the Cold War or losing the space race. Cuba didn't go well. Berlin didn't go all that well. Things didn't feel necessarily like the U.S. was winning. And there was a lot of pressure to sort of like step it up against the Soviet Union. Also, South Vietnam was an ally. Right? America promised to defend South Vietnam against communism, and we had to stand up for our allies and fight with them. Last, as we talked about yesterday, was the Gulf of Tonkin. If we look at this map of Vietnam, Gulf of Tonkin is this body of water here. There were some low-level confrontations between the U.S. and then the North Vietnamese Navy, potential missile being launched that, looking back, modern evidence, it probably never happened. But America felt like, well, North Vietnam attacked us directly, so therefore we should be responding. Right? And that the Gulf of Tonkin was kind of that final straw that pushed America over the top and committing to sending troops to Vietnam to fight the war. As a reminder, we got North Vietnam, that's America's enemy during the Cold War. They're on an alliance with China as well as the Soviet Union. They get supplied with weapons and money and everything. The U.S. is on the side of South Vietnam. We're going to watch a video to sort of summarize why America was involved in the Vietnam War, so you can pause this one. All right, so our goal today is try to decide, was America's involvement justified? So you may know, you may not, the U.S. is going to lose the Vietnam War. It's not going to be a good experience. It's going to divide the country. It's going to last for like a decade. Thousands of American soldiers are going to die. Thousands, millions others are going to be traumatized. It's going to be an embarrassing loss. A lot of problems with Vietnam for the U.S. So we know this is not a good. If we could go back in time, we would not have done it. My question is, at the time, do you think America had a good enough excuse for going to war? Did they have good enough reasons for wanting to fight this war? Like, if you didn't know the outcome of the war, the fact that our ally was attacked, trying to stop communism, potential conflict with the Navy, is that enough for you to say, yes, we should go to war? So today we're going to be looking at some primary sources, some evidence from the time, and we're going to try and make the decision, was America's involvement really justified? So what we're going to do is you're going to read and look at pictures and stuff, and you're going to do three things. We're going to call it the say, mean, matter. So you have to figure out, what's this document saying? Find the best quote in that document that proves that America was or was not justified. Next, you have to do the mean. What does the author mean? Explain this in your own words. Explain what was going on. Last, the matter. Why does this matter? Why is this important? You're going to tell me this shows America to be justified or unjustified because. Now, we're not going to do a full writing response to this, but if we were, this way of analyzing documents is a good way to get you set up to write. Right? You find the say, you're finding evidence. The mean, you're doing the analysis. The matter, you're figuring out your reasons. Right? So this is one of those ways to kind of set you up for a good response.